This A24 film has to be one of the most heinous films I've seen. Who the fuck in their right mind saw this script and was like, I love caca. I want to see this happen. Okay? Who thought for a split second that this is a fucking good idea? Because it was. Howdy, chat. Welcome back to my weekly little Pink Eye Pictures update slash movie talk type of business. This week I watched Beetlejuice, The Front Door, Tokyo Cowboy, which has honestly become one of my favorite movies of this year. God damn, I've been seeing it's banger after banger, ladies and gentlemen and NBs. It is an incredible year for film, as it always is. There's so many amazing films coming out that you gotta check out, honestly, because there's so much there. You gotta keep looking. Hopefully this is a series where I push you towards watching some of these movies. Of course I'll watch some of the mainstream stuff, some of the blockbusters here and there. Of course I'm gonna watch Dune and recommend it because it's like amazing. But then there are these smaller, quieter movies that maybe don't make as much noise as these giant summer blockbusters like Beetlejuice or Dune, but it still holds that same gravitas, that same energy and passion and love for the film. And I'm exhausted. Last week I kind of died. This week I'm back. A little bit better. I still have a little bit of a scratchy throat, but things are coming up. I want to start off talking about Beetlejuice. That was the first movie I've seen this week. A really interesting mix. To start off, I'm not a big Beetlejuice fan, right? It's a movie from the 90s that I never saw, that I never grew up with, that I never really found much interest in watching personally or going out of my way to watch it. And I'll probably watch now just to see, what it was. But this iteration of Beetlejuice, it doesn't necessarily make me feel like, yo, it's insert cameo, insert name, insert thing from the first movie. Maybe if you've watched the first movie, it might feel that way sometimes, but to me, it didn't have anything that stood out in particular. But yeah, it didn't really have anything in particular that I was very much put off guard, where it made me feel like, oh, this is just a cameo fest of a bunch of references to a movie I've never seen. That sometimes these sequels of really old movies can often become. That was probably my biggest concern going into it, but it manages to divert that. It manages to continue to tell its own story that's set in this universe, that it also continues on and respects the path it was set on 30 something years ago, right? Winona Ryder is great. My god, Michael Keaton is amazing. He is a powerhouse. he's just a versatile fucking actor. He's just phenomenal in everything he does. It's not fair. Of course, Keaton is great. The supporting cast is there too. They're wonderful. They hold up the film. I'm blanking on his name, but one of the major characters, I absolutely fucking despise that guy. He is just an absolute obnoxious dickhead that I just wanted to get off the screen anytime I saw him. Or, I wanted to slap myself in the fucking face every time I saw him, because I just think there and I'm like, oh boy. It's a massive cringe fest. Going into spoilers now, Jenna Ortega's character, I love her. I was kind of scared that it was gonna be a Wednesday rehash, where it's just her playing Wednesday, but in another movie. But thankfully, her character in this film isn't that. It isn't just a rehash. It is its own character. It has the similar characteristics of Wednesday, the very oh, I'm dark and depressed, and I'm this angsty kind of teen energy that is going on. But Jenna is a wonderful actor. She just carries herself with elegance. She's completely mesmerizing in everything she does, and I love her work. I love what she's done with this, albeit pretty small part in Beetlejuice, but still having a major part to play in the story. I thought she was wonderful. Obviously, I mentioned Winona. Winona's great as always. She's just beautiful. She's amazing. My goodness, and the supporting cast all around is just really great. Um, but yeah, getting into spoilers with Jenna's character. Thank fucking God we avoided the quirky white boy trope. Holy shit! I sat there in the theater as I was looking on, and I thought to myself, if we go through another quirky white boy, and the quirky white boy gets the Latina goth GF, I'm going to fucking end my life. It is over for me. I could not handle seeing that anymore. Holy fuck. Look, once in Wednesday, okay, fine, you're rebooting it, you're doing this new thing. Okay, let's try some things out. It didn't really work well. Because there wasn't just one quirky white boy in Wednesday. There was 2 fucking white boys. Alright. Going back. But in this one, we had 1. Thankfully, I kind of clocked it on a little bit early. Spoilers! Spoilers. Skip ahead like 5-10 seconds if you don't want to see spoilers for Beetlejuice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, I'm so thankful that the white boy is just a dickhead. He just ended up being a bad guy, but not really like a massive bad guy. There were some moments where it just got taken care of, and it was like, oh shit, what? Oh, well, that was quick. We don't really. Okay, I guess we're moving on, and that's just kind of how that went. I gotta cut out every time I drink this energy drink. I'm not sponsored. I'm not recommending them. But if they want to give me money to be sponsored and be like, hey, this is pretty good, they should give me money. But I really enjoyed Beetlejuice for what it was. It was fun, it was entertaining. I love the moments. I'm gonna plan another rewatch just because I love supporting my Latina queens all around the world, and just to see what I feel in a rerun, whether it gets old pretty quick, gets pretty stale, I don't know. But for this go around, I really enjoyed it. I thought Beetlejuice was wonderful. Moving on to the next one. Oh my goodness. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Boots, no. Ooh boy. No, I'm not talking to you. Tokyo Cowboy. Oh my God, my heart. Every time I think about that movie, the way the film approaches its subject, its characters, the way it composes them in the frame, the way the music guides you through this journey of, fish out of the sea type of story. It can often feel a little bit repetitive when it comes to that trope, because you've seen it time and time again. Country boy goes to New York City, sort of deal, or New York City businessman goes to the country, and it is that type of businessman from a busy city goes to a small, quiet, small town, country ranch thing, and discovers how to live life. It is a bit of that, but in such a way that it melds culture and really crosses a divide. It makes a bridge between people, the Japanese people, and honestly, Mexicans. The 2 leads of the film are a Mexican and a Japanese guy, and they become friends as we journey through this film. And we follow our main character, Sakai, I believe, if I'm remembering his name correctly. But he's just, my goodness, to see some of the comedy, some of the what's the word? To see some of the comedy, to not be racist dog whistles or undertones, where it's like, oh, it's funny because he can't speak English. It's not that. It's funny because there's a misunderstanding on how things work, where we see this contrast in the very beginning towards the beginning of the second act, or the end of the first act, where we see Sakai in his in his element, doing businessman things in business Tokyo, and I don't think it was Tokyo, but in Japan, where he's doing these businessman things, and he's like, oh, trust my company to take care of your company because yada 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 yada, blah, blah. And we see that same exact presentation and scene play out, but in the country. I forget where it was. It wasn't Alabama. I forget what state it was in, but we see this exact scene play out in the ranch, where it's a completely different group of people. They know how their ranch works. They know how their livestock work, how their soil is. But here's this businessman who bought the ranch from another businessman, who bought the ranch from another businessman, who bought the ranch from another businessman, and so on and so forth. So there is that conversation of the disconnect of a capitalist, greedy corporation who is simply looking to make a quick turnaround, a quick buck, only concerned with the numbers and not really the reality of the situation, and maybe figuring out a different way, figuring out a different path, because that's not the easiest. It's what matters is what can be done quickly, be achieved with the least minimal effort and least money spent in order to get money in return. So it is a criticism on capitalist corporate greed, which I really appreciated, and it also followed this beautiful friendship between a Japanese man and a Hispanic man that I've never personally seen in anything, really. It was beautiful to see my people, to be hearing my language and my culture, and just to see it be appreciated, to see it be loved, and see it be a part of the influence that pushes our protagonist towards a better choice, a better future. And I love Tokyo Cowboy so much. It's such a beautiful story. I walked out of this theater the same feeling as I got after watching Past Lives and Perfect Days. There's something about cinema from Korea, Japan, just they explore such beautiful themes in such a way that it just captures you. It captures you and takes you on this journey. And I absolutely love Tokyo Cowboy. It's become one of my favorite movies of this year. I know I said that. I know Sing Sing is still my best. Sing Sing is definitely the best movie I've seen this year. But Tokyo Cowboy is such a close second. I love it. I adore it. Everyone and everything in it. It's just a beautiful fucking film. But moving on to the next film. Let me start off with saying trigger warning. Trigger. I'm not gonna put the effort to do that. There's not gonna be alarms going off. I'm way too tired to do that. This is a weekly thing. This is a quick turnaround. I'm not going through the effort of editing in sirens and shit. Absolutely not. What am I thinking? But trigger warning. I am going to talk about how do I say this? Caca. I'm going to talk about caca. This A24 film has to be one of the most heinous fucking films I've seen. Who the fuck in their right mind saw this script and was like, I love caca. I want to see this happen. Okay? Who thought for a split second that this is a fucking good idea? Because it was. And, girl, I gotta be serious. Who in the right mind? I walked out of this goddamn movie saying, thank God, hallelujah, it's fucking over. I refuse to deal with poop. I cannot. It is no thank you, bye, thank you, no. Holy fuck. Please, I am using this. I am of sound mind and body if I ever get to the age of 70 or 80 or maybe even 90, and I start to become, or things start to work in a different way where it's not how it's supposed to work, please end my life. I do not want to wake up with shit in my bed, shit in my pants. I do not. I don't know how I feel about this movie. I'm gonna be real. It deeply made me uncomfortable, and of course that's what they're going for. It's this horror suspense sort of thriller. It's such goddamn pain, man. I don't know. I'm about to run out of time, but fuck me. This is a movie that an evil stepmother, an evil stepmother joins his family, abusive mother, stepmom, terrible mother-in-law. She's the daughter of the Confederacy. She's just evil. She's super religious. She thinks she's Jesus or prophet or something. And it does do some interesting things in that aspect. I kind of wish they went even deeper into that bit bad shit insane rabbit hole. But the way the film ended, I think, was cathartic. It was necessary. And I think it's a lesson, you know? We shouldn't have to deal with massive pieces of shit in our family because they're family, like, pretty much. No one should have to go through something like that. No one should have to go through mother-in-laws that are just monsters who don't think you're human or lesser than human. And I don't think as far as I can think about it right now, because honestly, the only thing in my mind that comes with this movie is the amount of shit I've had to see. When I tell you, they put in the most obnoxious, most unnecessary goddamn insert shots of shit. Pure shit from an adult. An adult who is doing it on purpose. It's audacious. It's fucking cinema. And that's the end of it. That's the end of it. I can't. I can't talk. I don't know. I genuinely don't know how I feel about this movie. That's the extent of my commentary on that. So, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me feeling happy. It gives me the dopamine that I need for my body to continue making these types of videos and also some other stuff. We actually recently shot a first pilot episode of our new series, which is called Take. It's a filmmaker interview series where I'm going to talk to actors, writers, directors, everything in between, and explore the craft of film in our local beautiful Houston, Texas. And we're shooting it around town. We're shooting it at different local restaurants and cafes that I just wanted to also give a little bit of shout out, because Houston is one of the most diverse cities in America. I want to explore that. I want to give that a little bit more love, show people that Houston is a lot more than what it appears to be on mainstream media. Houston deserves better, especially better than its current mayor. But I love Houston. I want to share some love with the local artistry, local restaurants and cafes, and just uplift people a little bit more and talk about their films, talk about the craft, and just explore that with our local talent. And these people are just amazing. They're wonderful. And I'm really, really excited for this series. So please stick around, subscribe. We'll hopefully have some episodes out soon. We're going to be shooting a couple and then editing them so they're like, oh, it's just pretty good. It's pretty good. And then putting them out there. And hopefully we can work on a couple more for this current run of season, so we can have like 6 to 12 episodes. I'm aiming for at least 10. But right now, I'm really, really excited to just share more about it soon, and obviously some other stuff. We got films and stuff. But thanks for watching, folks. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm getting more used to this type of stuff. I'm looking into the camera more. I'm saying and and less and less. So, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. What's my catchphrase? Or what do I call you guys? The subscribers, the followers, the supporters. My little pink eyes. No, that's I'm cutting that shit out. I'm losing my mind. But thank you, genuine. Thank you. Outro music playing.